the one who gave me the pamphlet to Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp? You're the reason I became a psychonaut?
Well, it was either you or Frazee, but you were such a nerd with those comic books.
Hey, True Psychic Tales is a graphic non-fiction periodical.
Some part of you knew you were living a lie. You sensed Raz's power.
What?
You thought he could help you.
Oh, I don't know, Crowley. I get so confused.
Not
sometimes.
Afterlife?
Actually, I was happy. Just sawing.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Scratching the children, telling them to stay away
I
from
thought you
the
said
monster.
afterlife. I was gonna say, what are you talking about?
And I feel.
Yeah, I think they used it on her so they can go into her brain.
Just when I was about to figure it out.
Because I think that's what he used it.
Everything would start to unravel.
I think that's what they used to frick her up in the first place. I mean, Ford, not they. I think Ford used that to frick her up in the first place.
I forgot how much I hate this place.
This is it. This is where I locked up Maligula. Behind that dam. We need to
Let me check
unlock
it
it
again.
and draw Maligula out into the open. Then we'll combine our powers and direct
doing
the
better this
astrolabe
time.
to blast open a pit into the deepest part of her mind.
Why don't we just, blast Maligula?
Maligula is a part of Lucy's mind. A primitive part that may have helped her early ancestors survive. We all have our own Maligula, Rasputin. We just know how to keep it locked up down below.
Locked up down below.
If you can secure the area while I keep Lucy calm, then we should be able to unlock this dam together.
Alright. Now we're back to where we left
I
off.
don't like this place.
And they have that enemy, so...
Yes, I need to stay here with Lucy.
Technically, I don't need to have something... I don't need to have the slow down to fight it. It's just way easier, so I might just put it on. Fuck it. Whoa, whoa, what the hell? Okay, like the slowdown's actually really dope as a weapon. What the hell? You know what? I need to make that thing more. It's actually. I forgot I don't have that punch thing anymore, so that's why I don't do as much damage when I punch. What did you give me? I didn't see you give me anything. Oh, frick! God dang, that thing. Wow, slowing that down is like OP as hell. No! There you go.
Hey!
Okay, good. Wait, what? Wait a minute, what happened?
Okay, you can borrow this. Hey!
You literally threw it in the water!
My face!
My face!
Are we hurting? Oh!
Dude, the archetype's hilarious. Oh, you know what? I should have slowed down those freaking things. Why did I not think about that before? Sus.
Don't worry, Flat Me. I'll bring you back. Oh,
Flat Me!
It's a fair fight.
Don't worry, Flat Me. I'll bring you back. I can't. Okay. I can't. How do I fight you again? I think I need this for you. Take that from you and throw it at you. Oh, yeah, and you throw books. Okay. Oh, I can throw those. I forgot about that. And I can throw this back at you. There we go. Nice.
Rasputin is gonna help.
Rasputin is gonna help. Yes, I'm gonna try. It might not go as planned. Dude, how many enemies are they gonna give me here? Jeez, man. Oh no, and we have
Okay, you can borrow this. Hey!
Oh frick, my bad. My chat's broken again. I forgot it does that every time. I gotta reset it. Give me a sec. Like, I think someone typed in the chat, but I can't see it just now. So if you did type in there, please type in there again. My apologies. Oh, it's okay. It's Quill Ribbit. No, it's OBS problem. It's an OBS thing. I can see. I can't. The OBS built-in chat is what was breaking.
Hey, lady, look at me!
I did not mean to do that.
I gave you nothing.
There you go. All right. How do you fight this thing again? Why did my brain forget how to fight the bad idea or the bad mental state or whatever the hell?
I want to go back to my bug.
Oh, yeah, that's how you have to do it. I need clairvoyance.
Now, it's all right, Lucy.
Oh, it's immune to clairvoyance right now.
You need this more than me.
Hey! How dare you kill my archetype? I want to use clairvoyance on this bad mood, but it looks immune to it.
No, not that, you ball!
There must be something causing this bad mood around here.
Bro, I swear to God. If I don't stop hitting the wrong button. Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance.
Oh,
Holy ball.
let's see what's causing this bad mood.
Alright, yeah, bad mood. I don't know why I was calling it bad mindset. Alright, here we go. I mean, it's kind of the
This'll
same.
make things... Great job, Raz.
Oh!
Now, open that locket, and we'll use the astrolabe to blast it.
That is how they were gonna do it. Wow. Interesting. I don't think they've ever done that for a level. They literally just throw all the baggages here like nothing. Right at the end. So if you didn't get all the tags, it's like you're fricked. But if you did get all the tags, you got the hookup. Well, luckily we got them all. It's so cute but
What's that
sad.
sound? Yep. I hope you don't mind me sorting.
You have enough? Oh no! It's not enough for that. Dang it! I thought it was telling me I had the 102. I'm not close to that yet. I really hope that I can get that
Yep.
soon.
It's a locket.
Dang!
That's my sister, Marana. But
Help me focus the astrolabe, Rasputin. Quickly!
Help me focus the astrolabe. Okay.
could have made a mistake.
I think we made many mistakes. But now, we're gonna face them.
So is this how he gets over his fear of water?
Before, I was young, scared, and alone. But now, I'm only one of those things.
That looks like doubt is coming out.
She's grown.
Never mind, that's her face. Okay.
Let's hope the astrolabe can make a deep enough pit.
Don't worry, Ford. I'll be right here beside you.
What the hell? I'll be right here beside you. I don't know what the hell just grabbed me, but okay. So apparently we're not going to be right beside Ford. Good to know, game. It looked like some big black thing, like big black freaking tentacle. I'm assuming that's not what it was, but that's what it looked like.
Gott im Himmel.
Jackpot. Bullseye.
I felt her. Maligula.
I know the identity
Yeah, that was
of them
actually kind
all.
of weird.
That's incredible, Sasha.
Well, I had mechanical assistance, which...
Are
you
y'all gonna
didn't
make
need.
out?
Agents, we have a security breach in the Green Needle Gulch.
She's here.
Okay, so now she is reborn. And I got kicked out. So I don't know. I think now that means I can get the rest of the items, right? Game? Please? Before the finale? I think I just needed to do that section beforehand. And wherever it puts me... Oh, no.
It's okay. You're safe.
What happened? We were...
You were obviously in distress, so I pulled you out.
Oh, he pulled him out.
Is that her?
What the hell?
I told you he was up to something out here with his girlfriend. Maligula.
That's not his girlfriend, you little snitch. I'm his girlfriend.
What?
My God!
Oh yeah, funny story. That's not really Nick from the mailroom.
I know that, but why? Doesn't matter. I'll take it with me when I take her.
Help Nona. Talk to Lily. Okay, that's great. This is great. But can I, like, just dip for a second and, like...
Hey, where are you going?
Oh, to get some help? Maybe?
Raz, we need to figure out what's going on with my dad before anyone else notices. You'll stay with me, won't you?
Of course.
Yeah, her dad's being sus. Fair. Fair.
Hey,
Why are you
I
here?
found some of those scavenger.
Mission critical Psychonaut assets? Hand them over.
Can I have my clothes back yet?
What?
Kid, you got a long way to
Oh,
go.
but that's cute.
Better
Hey,
get moving.
Ray. Hey, girl. Oh, I didn't collect all your stuff yet because the game won't let me freaking go over there. But I'm pretty sure I can find the rest of your items when the game allows me, okay? Scrub. Alright. Oh, frick. Hold up, though. Let me see. Can I do anything in here? I don't use any of my items. I don't know what my problem is.
I don't think I need any more gadgets right now.
I don't think I need any more gadgets right now. You might be right, buddy. But it told me that I can level something. Oh, I can level up this projection. So basically, the last thing will be the 102 one. All right, good. Okay, so hopefully I can get that soon, but we'll find out if I'll be able to get it before the end game or not. All right, time to talk to Lily. But her dad is acting sus as hell, so.
Truman, why did you pull me out? Ford and I were about to face Maligula.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll get your chance.
Yeah, you acting sus as hell.
Lily!
Raz, listen. I've been following my dad for a while, and he's acting really weird.
I need to see what's going on inside his
I
mind.
need to
That's
see
probably
what's
their
going
answer.
on inside his mind. I need to go into the Grand Head.
You're right. We do.
We do.
Wait, what?
You're not going to make me do this alone, are you?
Oh, they're going together. How cute. And she actually admitted that they're dating, so that was cute too.
Wow.
Jeez.
Sorry,
Get over
Beardo.
yourself, Dad. What the heck?
Right. Let's split up and compare.
Yeah, this
notes
looks
in
like a
bit.
narcissistic brain, I would say.
Why would he?
Oh, there's only 98 in here. Okay, let's search for them first. We know how sus this game is.
Here
Wait.
are his outfits. That's pretty normal.
In his mind, have you ever seen my father? He never thought about his clothes. Weird.
Yeah, so something sus is going on, but look at all these different beards. Oh no, I didn't mean to drop that one. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, frick.
This is just...
This is just.
Maybe your dad was considering a change of beard?
Never. Not my dad.
Okay, that's probably the answer. So before we go to the answer, we are going to make sure.
Dad?
Wait, hold on, wait. Actually, I'm curious. What is in here? Okay, there's nuggets of wisdom. Oh, there are half of minds and everything else. Okay. All right. So everything is freaking here. Good to know. What? What?
Strange.
Oh, hell no. I'm gonna stand here until that comes back. I hate those kind of figments. How are you supposed to know when you got all them? You literally have to just wait around and hope that you see it. Alright, I see these.
But... Huh?
Oh, it's one of those things. Oh, no, this is actually a mirror. I thought it was like one of those things where I can go in.
What the...
It's almost like he comes here to practice being himself.
Rasputin, I gotta tell you, I don't like it.
He comes here to practice being himself. Sounds very narcissistic to me.
But... Huh?
I guess he's really proud of his diplomas.
Then why doesn't he hang them up in his office?
He's secretly proud?
Secretly proud.
Don't get it.
Wait. That can't be everything, right? Oh, you probably have to break that. Alright, I'll try to interact with everything.
Dad?
Lily, take it from me. All dads are weird.
I just don't know what's wrong with him. Why would he...
Dude, the frickin' singing.
Hey, this statue.
Careful, Raz. That's still my dad.
I don't really think of your dad as a vain man.
He's not! I'm telling you, something's not right in this stupid place!
I think there's something under here.
Yeah, more plaster.
I actually want to hear the stories, so I actually... What the hell?
Whoa, Lily. Your dad was a really big fan of Nick from the mailroom.
Well, most people are. Except my dad. My dad once told me he thought Nick John Smith was an obsequious little lick spittle.
Lick spittle?
That's how my dad talked. My real dad. Raz, this isn't my dad's mind.
Lily!
I wonder what that would feel like.
Hey, you kids, get off that carpet. VIPs only.
Who the hell are you?
If it's not your dad's mind, whose mind is it?
His.
How did Nick get in his dad's mind?
But, I mean...
Wait, what?
Nick?
Make way, common folk. Make room for Zazarovich Crystal Malik, future Tsar of Grulovia.
Oh yeah, this is definitely narcissistic.
Nick is the Zazarovich?
I can't believe it. What's a Zazarovich?
The missing heir to the throne of Grulovia. He lived in exile with his family after Maligula destroyed the capital. Why is his brain in your dad's body?
And where is my father's real brain? Come on, let's make him talk. Come on, he's getting away. Coming through.
Oh my god, I love the sound of walking on, like, whatever the hell this surface is. I don't know what you call it, but it sounds amazing.
Official business.
Dude, I could literally make ASMR of this sound. What if I just looped a clip of, like... What if I just looped a clip of Raz walking through here and then it just keeps looping for ASMR? Video game ASMR, those video game sounds you just love to hear.
Excuse me.
Help! This person's cutting in line.
There's nobody here. Wow, they even have a change for this texture. Sorry, I actually really love that. That's amazing. Ah, I can't do that. Okay. Ah, okay, can't do that either. Okay, fair. No! Are you freaking for real? I literally fell in that. Are you serious? Alright. I gotta explore this first place. I mean, this place first. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was water. It didn't look like water, but, you know, this game's kind of sus. I gotta make sure there's no figments or... Wait. Yeah, I'm nowhere near the figment thing, so actually, there could be. Gotta make sure there's nothing in here. Doesn't look like it. Alright, which just triggered this conversation.
Hi, can we get on the ride, please?
Did you two cut in line?
We're VIPs.
Oh, does that stand for vertically impaired preteens?
This tall to ride. Okay.
Oh, come on! This is an emergency!
It's for your own safety. Come back when you're older.
Okay. Oh, frick, I had that one out. Let me see. Can I do anything with this? Oh, wait a minute. Are those candles? Oh, dang, I thought it was 5-head. Those are candles, though, right? Come on, bro. That was 5-headed strat, alright? What about this? Wait, what is that? Oh, I thought there was a symbol for clairvoyance on there. I was about to say. I actually don't... Oh. Wait, what? Oh, so when the map was, like, changing direction, it was telling me that I could go over here. What the frick? I had the strongest urge to go over here, but I thought that I couldn't. Like, the camera was really sus with the other one, so I thought I couldn't go. That's actually really cool. Alright, so we didn't miss those figments. That's good. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Maybe I can adjust his arm. Oh. Yep. Okay.
Okay, we're older. Check us now.
Oh man, how long have I had this job? I gotta get out of here.
Hey, baby, let's go.
Sorry,
What?
Grolovians only.
What? You can't.
It's okay, Raz. Go.
But Lily.
Don't worry. I have a plan.
Aw, come on, bro. We were having so much fun together.
Now,
Hey!
follow that czar.
Hey. Okay, I thought it broke for a second. Wow, it does get on fire. I'm assuming I can't move. Can I jump? No? Okay. Uh-huh.
Behold, the glory
Gotta
of
say, the floor
Grolonia.
looks amazing. Jeez, I love the way it looks.
Never had a nation been more prosperous.
Oh, figments!
people more
Figments! I can't move.
Never was a royal family more beloved than the Maliks, Tsar Theodore, Tsarina Rokal, and the young Zazarovich Crystal. The nation looked forward to the happy day when Crystal Malik would legally and rightfully inherit his father's throne, but alas,
The frick?
that was not meant to be. The Tsar's Minister of War and Protector of the People, General Maligula, had aroused the jealousy of the warmongering Ford Cruller.
What the?
He led his mob of Psychonauts to gang up on Maligula, drowning the brave warrior.
What?
Just when I thought I'd heard every version of this story.
And drowning much of Grulovia in the process. Why didn't the Tsar help Maligula in her time of need? No one knows, but historians agree it is Tsar Theodore's biggest failure. In the end, Grulovia, the Maliks,
That doesn't
and
look
Maligula
right.
were betrayed by the weakness of the Tsar and the bloodlust of the Psychonauts.
This is painting the Psychonauts as some bad guys, and that's kind of weird. Oh, now we're actually in water. Half a brain! Or half a mind. What? I think so, but maybe it will stop and I can go back? Because, like, I can't move. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to control it.
Hey, Raz. I'm watching you on the control panel here.
Why'd
Why'd
you
you
stop?
This door won't open. What happened to the ride operator?
He, had an accident.
Looks like there's an electrical problem up above the ride.
Okay, I'll drain the water so you can get up there.
Oh, okay. She said she's gonna drain the water.
Fix it. I should be able to get the ride going again from here.
Check.
Okay, now that I'm out, time to explore. Oh, that was health. Will these hurt me? No. Okay. The hell? Oh, wait a frickin' minute. You can turn the music off by getting in here. That's hilarious. It was playing like some annoying music over and over. Oh, it's one of these.
Yes, got the duffel bag tag.
So I wouldn't have been able to do that without having the mental thing all the way full. Wait a minute. Oh, I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Okay, the way this game's doing this stuff is really cool. This is really cool stuff, I gotta say. Alright, you know, I'm not gonna grab any more of those health because something tells me that it's there because I'm gonna get attacked in here, so. Dude, how do I get up here? Oh. Really easily if you just actually, you know, walk around. Alright. Can I open these? Nah, okay. Some of these are not openable. Okay, so... Oh no, there's more water over here. Gotta be careful. Here you are. Alright, so there's water here. Something tells me, can I climb on this? I can. Oh, but there's an invisible wall over there. Okay. I thought it was going to make me fall in the water. I was about to be mad. Because I can't always tell what the invisible walls are, man. Ooh. Yo! No, what are you doing? Okay. I knew there'd be something over here. And I think I saw that before. Is that it? Can I climb up anything else? No, looks like. Alright. I gotta say, this game has been pretty fun to 100%. Oh, there's jumpy things back here. I was like, how am I gonna get those? That's how. Okay, I know there's another one in here, but I'm actually kind of curious to make sure I don't miss anything else. Oh, I can't do that. I can't jump on it. Like, I can't ledge grab it. Alright, so I'm gonna have to go all the way around. Aw, dang it. I thought I could cheat it. No! Ah! I didn't get a jump. What the frick? Here we go.
Aha! Here's the hat box.
All right, how we doing? Okay. We got one half of mine. We're not doing too well just yet, so I'm hoping that I haven't missed too much of anything. Wait, what?
Huh. This is not how I heard this story.
Okay, so who's telling the truth and who's lying?
Then again, I'm not sure who to trust anymore.
Okay, he says the same thing.
Hey, Ford, think you can help me up into those rafters?
Bro, why did you think that was a real Ford? Come on. Alright, before I go that way, let me explore more down here. Something tells me there may be some ish over here. Nothing? Really? Oh, man, this game is so fascinating. All right, glory to Gorlovia. Okay. Oops. I never had the right ability out. What? No! I knew that was gonna happen. This game hates me, I swear to God. I swear to God, bro.
I think I hear some watching.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna do it at the same time. Frick you guys. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just gonna fall. Dude, there's so much in here. I can see you getting so frustrated because of this.
What's that sound?
Okay, there's an emotional baggage around here. No! No! You ball sack! I didn't know that was a wall jump. I thought there was a ground there. Frick. Is there emotional baggage? Alright, looks like I have to,
I think I hear some emotional baggage nearby.
assuming it's up here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright. I can't see sometimes, I gotta say. Looks like this is gonna be it. Alright. I don't think I missed anything else in here. This is so cool, though. I love that. I love that effect. Like, is this something that games do? Like, I feel like this is very unique. Or, like, usually you wouldn't be able to see into an area because it has to load, you know? So there's usually something disconnecting you from that area. Apparently I can't get up there. And there's nothing there, so. Okay, part of me wants to see if there's anything in there. No? That makes me think of Crash, honestly. That makes me think of Crash. I don't know why. Like, those platforms that had stuff hidden in it and random ones. Sus as hell. Alright, hold on. Before I do this, I actually do want to come back down here because I want to go back. How do I go back to the other room? Where was that at? Okay, here we go. Because this might be my only chance. Maybe? Never mind. It's just not there anymore? Okay. Never mind then. There are figments in one. I thought there was figments in that area. Maybe I was wrong. Nothing else. Nothing else hiding around here.
Catch me, Angel. Ouch, jerks. Really hoping you guys would rise to the occasion.
Are you serious? You gotta be trolling, bro. You gotta be trolling. That was some bull crap. Game, why? Why are you gonna embarrass me like that? See, I try not to jump too much when I'm near these things because I notice it. He just won't grab on if I'm jumping too much. But apparently I needed to jump a little bit further. I thought I missed. I was about to be mad. No! Oh, cock! Alright. Alright, we're 50 out of 98 figments. I think that's pretty good. We probably have been getting everything so far.
Okay, did that fix the problem?
Looks good, Raz. Get back on the ride, and I'll start it up again.
All right, this is a good view, place to look down and be like, yo, what's going on? It doesn't let me go back to that other area, unfortunately. Bro, just drop. I knew it. I knew it, bro. Like, there's no way they're gonna put, like, health here if we're not fighting here. Ow, I can't see. Hold up, I'm stuck. Uh-oh.
How do you know for sure?
Okay, game. Dang, y'all really chasing after that. Hold up. Okay, I was hoping that I would finish him off before he got that.
Stop pressing buttons.
Stop pressing buttons.
Is in session.
Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, no, that's not what I need. I need you to slow down so I can kill you. Dude, she got a hammer guy? Oh, dang, I didn't realize they had that range. Oh, God.
They killed my archetype. Just when I was starting to like him.
Don't worry. We can bring the archetype back. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I have a charge. Alright, hold on. I'll put this on real quick.
My baby!
Dang it. Did I hit him or no? There we go. Bro, if y'all don't stop. Y'all don't stop ganging up on me. This is not fair.
Council must not badger the gavel. Hostile.
Hey, lady, look at me.
Oh, I didn't see you.
It's more than me. Wow. You just another foot.
No, wait.
Relax. I know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, after all those attempts.
Get back on the dumb ride.
Okay.
Get me out of Barovia.
Hang on.
Okay, now it's actually cold in here. And this way. What kind of lyrics is that? This story is getting so sus. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Maligula was mourned. If only the Tsar had supported her more, not turned his back on her in her time of need. Maybe then his family would not have been forced into exile. Forced to wander the earth with no country, across the frozen Arctic.
Dude.
The burning desert. Endless ocean.
They lived in the ocean?
On his deathbed, Tsar Theodore gave young Bristol, who had suffered so much, a small ray of hope. He told him that Maligula, protector of Grulovia, was still alive.
And
If she
she's
were
my
alive,
fake grandma!
why had no one heard from her? Surely Ford Cruller and his psycho spies must have her captive. Crystal Malik bravely decided then and there to find her, to undo his father's mistake, and to restore Maligula, the Maliks, and all of Grulovia to power.
Hey!
Are you stuck again? Is something malfunctioning on your end?
Sorry, closed for maintenance. And for the glory of Grulovia, or whatever.
What's the holdup?
Hang on. I gotta talk to a guy about a door. Excuse me, but this door over here...
Sorry, busy.
Busy with what?
Propagandaneering. I'm creating a future chapter in this
Propagandaneering.
semi-interactive location-based epic. This treasure room tells the story of how once the Zazarovich finds Maligula and restores Grulovia to its former glory, the people will all share in unimaginable riches. But it's missing something. Not sure what.
Like something to go in that big egg cup in the middle?
Yeah, something there.
Like maybe an egg?
That's it! See? Sometimes you just need a fresh set of eyes. Hey, you get me a big, beautiful, luxurious egg, and I'll use my pass to open that door for you.
Deal! Hey, where do they keep the big eggs around here?
Crystal told me the best eggs he ever found were out in the ocean. Whatever that means.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, well now we can explore this area so I can go back and get some of these figments. And tags!
Gotcha!
Over here, yeah. Yay. How do I get up here? You good? Oh. Thought you were trying to roast me. I thought you fell back asleep. Dang, bro. Oh, okay. I knew it. I wasn't sure if it was one of those doors. It is.
I think
Okay.
if I use projection on this door, my archetype would go in there.
And it's a whole different area. Dang, man. And I can stop the music again. That's gonna be an ongoing theme, huh? Wait, is that all this was for? Just stopping the music? There's nothing else here? Are you for real? Aww. Whoa, whoa, stop being sus. I hope I didn't miss anything in there. I don't know.
Lily, do you see any controls for a giant painted mural with props?
I see something called Grulovian Diasporama. scenery, props, and heroes.
Oh God.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay,
for now.
that sounds like a
Thanks,
puzzle.
Lily.
I'm not even gonna try to think about that right now. Hold up, I'll come back to that. Hold up. I do gotta go in here though, because there's something in here, right? Right, game? Yes.
Got the first tag.
Thought you were about to troll me again. Alright. I do need to manipulate that. I see that. Figments. 59 out of 98. We're doing okay-ish. Oh, here's a purse tag. I mean, the purse baggage. Can't do anything with them. What about the dying dad? No. Can't. Doesn't seem like I can get it. What is that sound, dude? That's a really weird sound. Oh, there's eggs. Who knew it was gonna be so obvious? Something in me feels like I shouldn't go in there yet until I actually mess with this puzzle so I can know what it is. So let's see.
Lily, can you change that projector screen again?
Sure.
Sure.
It has buttons for scenery, props, and heroes.
All right. Could you move the family for me? Okay, let's change the scenery. Let's try scenery first.
Okay. There are buttons for Arctic Exile, Adrift at Sea, and Desert Wasteland.
I'm assuming this is Arctic, and this is Drift at Sea. So Drift at Sea and Desert Wasteland are different. So let's look at Desert Wasteland.
Desert Wasteland.
Why not?
I think I want to change something else now.
Whatever.
Whatever?
Okay, that's enough for now. Thanks, Lily.
Do I have to sit through those conversations every time I want to change something? Okay. Alright. I see what's the gimmick here. Oh, I need to move them.
Lily, can you change that projector screen again?
Sure. It has
Dude.
buttons for scenery, props, and heroes.
Could you move the family for me?
Sure. Where do you want them? Stage left, right, or center?
Front and center. I think that's where Crystal would like his family.
What's this all about?
Okay, I don't want to think about that family
Okay,
anymore.
I gotta say, that's annoying that I have to sit through those over and over again.
Okay, that's enough for now.
Oh, you can
Thanks,
skip.
Lily.
Never mind. I lied. Okay, that's fair. That's valid. Alright, alright. Ah! No, ball! Oh, I didn't see these here, so I actually probably do want it over there. Never mind, I lied. Hold up.
Lily, can you change?
It has buttons.
Alright, move the
Could
family.
you move the family for me?
Sure.
Let's
Stage
put the family
left.
stage left.
Skip.
Interesting choice.
Skip.
Okay, I don't want to
Skip.
think about that.
Me either.
Okay, that's enough
Skip.
for now.
Bye, Raz.
It's probably an accessibility thing, so I can't really say much. That's actually nice. Wait, dude, how the booty eye? Oh. Ooh, something's back here, right? Yep, knew it. Huh? Oh, you're talking to the kitty. Kitty, witty, witty, where are you? Oh, they're playing with the cable? Alright, so that's that. It looks like each of these scenery are gonna have something different, so
Lily, can you
let's
change?
switch it to the other scenery.
Let's change the scenery.
Okay, there are buttons for Arctic Exile.
Oh, skip. Adrift
Show
at sea.
me drift.
Okay,
I think I want to change something else now.
whatever.
Okay, so move
Could
the
you
family to the
family
middle
for
now.
me?
Sure. Where do you want them? Stage left, right, or center?
Front and center.
Is this going to help me find my dad?
Okay, I don't want to think about that family anymore.
Me either.
Okay, that's enough for now. Thanks, Lily.
Bye, Raz.
All right, so we have to move the scenery.
Yep.
Oh, so that's what that's for.
Lily,
Okay,
can
I
you
see.
change?
It has, but
So move the
Can we alter the
props.
props?
yep.
I mean the props. I meant props, not scenery. Frickin's dumb.
Maybe some trees?
Yeah. I think some cacti would have set the mood. I think this needs.
I think some cacti would really set the mood.
Is this going to help me find my dad's brain?
Oh, and I have to move.
Those trees are ruining it. Get rid of them.
Interesting choice.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I think what this needs is some fish.
Why not?
Is that gonna be
I wanna
enough?
Change something else, I think.
I don't know if that's enough to get up there. I might need the trees.
Okay, that's enough for now.
Bye, Raz.
Do I need all of them?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I might need all of them. Can I cheat though? Yes, I can. He said no.
I know where I am. This is the Lady Luctopus. The Maliks must have lived at the casino for a while.
What?
Lily, there's a room here just like the one we found on the mission to the casino. The delusionist was Crystal.
So that's why Nick had a Luctopus key in his pocket. He was living there.
Yeah, in exile.
Ooh, that means he's the one who wrote
Cringe.
the creepy note about me.
He's here, Crystal.
Really?
Wait a second. Huh.
I don't know what that was. That did. That hot dog looks so good. So this is where homie bro was living. Nasty as hell. Ooh. It's gotta be a reason I can jump, right? Or is it just literally just because it's a bed? Is that the joke? It's a bed, so you can jump because I go right through that light.
Hey. Why the long face?
My father died today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. He ruined my life. And if it weren't for him, I'd be the Tsar of Grulovia. Believe it or not. Instead, I'm homeless.
I don't know. This place looks pretty nice.
Ha! Good one. Hey, kid. There's something about you I like. Are you, by any chance, of Grulovian blood?
Yeah, that's a creepy question. I'm out of here.
Okay, little Grulovian brother. Come back when you want to share some caviar with homeless royalty.
Okay, that's weird. If I do that with him, like, will it, like, trigger something, or? Ew. Okay, so there's actually nothing in here. That's sus. I feel like I gotta try it out because, like, they wouldn't let me do that if I couldn't take advantage of it.
Hey, about that caviar you mentioned.
I knew you'd be back.
I don't know. I've never had caviar.
That's okay. It's just eggs. Incredibly expensive eggs.
Well, since you put it that way...
You won't regret it. I mean, look at these eggs.
Ew.
Maybe I'll have just one.
I don't think one is gonna do the trick.
We'll see.
Uh-oh. Those aren't caviar eggs. They do look like jack orbs. Okay, dude, this game is massive. Yeah, like there's always something else. I like that about it, but man. Oh, it's just a mirror. Hey. I mean, I'm okay with extra game. It's just like, it makes me feel like I'm missing something everywhere because like there's just so much stuff hidden randomly in places that I wouldn't expect. Like, yeah. All right. Okay. Now I hope this won't mean that I miss out on anything else because there's still stuff to do. That's the thing that gives me anxiety. I don't know what's gonna trigger a story change to the point where I can't go back, and then I'd have to come back anyway at 100%. Oh, I thought I missed. Okay. But these places are beautiful, I gotta say. Ah, my balls! Dang it. Why did I hesitate? I would have been fine. No, my balls! Huh? Jeez, it goes so fast. Okay. I love rolling on a jack orb. Ah! Here we go. Okay, there's gonna be... Are there gonna be figments when I roll down? No? Whee! Jesus!
Oh my God! Quick! Roll that over to the treasure room before anyone sees what you did! Oh, my poor Theodore!
Oh no, so that was what I was supposed to do? No, dang it, there was like another area. Oh wait, no, maybe this is okay. Because...
That's right, right through here.
Yeah, this is one of the rooms I didn't explore yet. Can I grab that? No, I have to wait. I have to put the egg in first. Don't teleport me, game. Don't teleport me.
Oh my, please be careful.
I didn't mean...
Are you doing this on purpose?
I didn't mean to hit the other stuff. I promise.
Perfect. Now please leave before you break anything else.
Don't teleport me. Yes!
Don't worry, that's insured.
I'll take this nugget.
Okay. Was that the only nugget I got in this area? Yeah, it was. Jeez. I don't know if it means I missed something or if it means that that was just the only nugget so far. Because this seems like it's going to be a long area. Okay, so it did take me away from that thing. I want to actually go back there and see if there's anything else I could have done.
Lily, can you change that? It has.
Alright, so... No, I think I saw everything. I think I saw everything, because there's only 3 options, 3 scenery options, and each one had something I can go in.
Let's see. Arctic Exile, please.
Is this going to help me find my dad's brain?
Yeah, that was the same thing that was there
I
before.
change something else now.
Whatever.
Okay, that's enough for now.
Bye, Raz.
Bye, Raz.
Yep.
Yeah, because this is that same thing we got the tag from. Okay. So I think that we are good. I think we probably got everything in here. Let me just check this area and see. I do want to... You know what I am curious about, though? If I go back to that Nick guy, can I get anything else to trigger? Probably not, but...
Let's change the scenery.
I think it was...
There are buttons for Arctic Exile.
Oops, skip. It was... the drift at
Show
sea.
me Drift at Sea, could you?
I was just thinking the same thing.
I think I want to change something else now.
Whatever.
Okay, that's enough.
Now,
for
hopefully
now.
I can cheat and get back up there again. The way I did last time. Why do you keep saying no? Hold up. Part of me is like, is there anything up here? Probably not, but... Okay. Yeah. Oh, I can't actually go in that way. Oh, he's actually gone. Okay, so I guess that was basically the only way that was gonna end. I don't know with this game. Yeah, I'm hungry too. Might get us something. We'll see. That's not where I'm supposed to go. Where am I supposed to go? Over here. Yeah. No, that's the beginning. Frickin' hell. Here it is.
This is 8-meter. Ready to roll.
Holy frick. I think that pill is starting to wear off, so I'm about to crash. So clearly we're not finishing this game today. What? Yeah, I know. That's what it does. It does last a good bit, but I think what happens is when I'm so excited like that, I'm more likely to crash because I just literally exert all the energy. Which is why it's too much for me. There's a Red Bull? Exactly. Oh, I thought that was no ground. What the frick?
Young Bristol Malik embarked on his heroic mission.
Figment.
The earth for Maligula, and with her restore glory to Grulovia. He hunted down
Every time I see the Figments, I just want to grab them. This is actually a way of like kind of torturous that they keep making me stuck in here.
Undaunted,
Oh no. No, 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 no. Why am I leaving that area? What the hell is this? The hell?
Once insinuated into their organization, the
He switched their brains.
power, replacing the very head of the spy ring.
Lily, I found Bristol's memory of stealing your father's brain.
Does he show what he did with it?
No, it's just a weird puppet show now. Hey, wait. I'm in this one.
He found their organization ridiculously easy to manipulate. Some of their most trusted agents were mere children, easily controlled by
What?
Master Malik.
Super creepy.
Oh, this is sus. This game's getting darker than I expected.
Uh-oh. Whoa, what the?
Please bring me back to that area, though. That was messed up.
Ow! Hey, this ride's not safe at all.
Nowhere near soon, I guess. Oh, I'm fighting crap in here, that's for sure. There's health in here. That's what that ish means. Oh, I had that one out. Okay, hold on. I actually need this. Because they're gonna throw stuff, and I want to pick that up and throw it at them. What to say? Like, hurry up so I can throw it. I missed. Yikes. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm also gonna just build this real quick. We're just gonna ground pound you until you die. There you go. Dang it. Oh, I still got it. No, hit the right thing, you ball! Ow. Ow. Not you! God dang it! Dude! Oh, frick! Okay, that's one. Jesus. There we go. And there's more. I should have expected this. Ah! Not you, you dog. I don't know why I said it. Not you, you dog. Dang, I keep forgetting that thing's reach.
Never touch a judge's gavel!
Can you, Okay, fine. I'll just kill you like this then.
I need you.
I just want to find that cart and get back on the ride again.
Alright, I'm gonna grab all this health, though. Even though it's not that much, but, yeah. And I can build another one of you, because you're giving me health randomly. Never mind, I didn't need it. And now we need this again. Wait, that was a figment! Oh, frick, I'm lucky I got that. I didn't even see that. What? That's kind of random. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one. Wait, we did. Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot we bought those, but they're not reusable. But none of them are if they're the NDI, right? Or ND5 N9. What is it? N95. It's actually it's hilarious because it what?
Tag for this guy.
That's the only tag I don't have? Are you serious? Did I miss it? Please tell me I didn't miss it. Come on, game. Why? This game's evil, I swear. That's back this way. It doesn't look like there's anything there. God dang it, game! You're always cucking me! The hell?
This must be the moment where Lobato stole Agent Zanato's brain. Creepy. So Crystal Malik was the one who hired you to swap his brain in for Truman's?
I'll never tell.
I'm literally watching you do it right now. Where did you put Truman's brain?
I'll never tell.
Come on!
I'll never tell.
Bro. Really?
Here's the steamer trunk.
You guys are evil for that. That is so messed up. Now I have to go all the way back? Or at least they let you go back. Maybe that's why. Oops. Oh, it didn't hurt me, so.
I think I hear some emotional
Okay. Speed running. Did you hear? I was saying I might actually come back to Jack speed running in the future.
I found some weird stuff off the ride.
I know it would be kind of cringe, but yeah.
Malik, remember? Not having fun at an amusement park.
Oh, frick. I thought my eyes started playing tricks on me. He got way smaller. What the hell? Look how he gets like way smaller as he walks. That was so confused. My brain was like so confused. This game has a lot of cool mechanics. Like, to me, that's really...
I'll take this nugget. It's locked.
It's locked. Okay, does that gap under there mean that I can use this?
I'm so glad you're here, you Is that a penny over there?
It's locked.
No. Dang it. Oh, that's not a gap. Never mind. There's a gap. Gap. He got a gap. Yes. I love making music out of nothing. Wait, hold up. Let me check things a little bit. Dude, this area is massive. Alright, well, there's the second one. I land without caviar. Oh, maybe this is the last world then. Or brain. Because maybe that's all the emotional baggage in the game. I mean, memory vault, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Problems. I'm dumb. That's really what the sign said. I didn't just say that. What the frick? Aw. Dad messed everything up. It's always my parents' fault. Frick! Okay. Wait, what? Oh! Is that how that works? It takes me to the other one? Oh, okay. Cool. I guess. Wait, hold on. So we have all the tags, so all we have to do is find the emotional baggages now. We have one more nugget left. All the memory vaults, all the half a minds. We just need one more nugget and figments. And then the emotional biggages. I'll probably stop soon though, because I'm feeling that crash about to hit me hard. How did I almost walk past this? That was sus. Yeah, we're hungry. Whoa. Oh no, this is gonna be a nugget, isn't it? No, I can just turn the music off. Make it stop. I made it stop every time. Yeah. I actually think that's really cool. It's cute. Because he makes a exasperated sigh every time you do it, as in he hates the music. Oh, I thought there was gonna be a half a mine or something there. I mean, not half a mine, nugget. I'm looking for a nugget. Oh my god, there's a floating. I didn't see that at first. Okay, hold up. Every time I see these now, I'm gonna do this because I don't trust this game. Okay, I saw that figment. That's messed up, bro. Dude, look, what the hell? There's so many of them. You just have to, like, hope you get it. Yeah. Dang, man. I'm so lucky. Yeah, I'm 88 out of 98, so there's really 10 left. Oh, I missed this one, like, right here. So there's 9 left? 9 is a weird number, so hopefully I didn't miss something. Oh, wait. I didn't go in here, did I? Wait a minute. Because there's another path I could take. I could go back down here. So part of me wants to see what happens if I go back down here. No, that's back to the ride. So I don't think I want that. I think I do want this other path. No one saw that. Wait, what? What? What the hell? That was weird. Okay, let's go back in here because I didn't explore this yet. Huh? I don't think so. It should be fine. Like, I'm not a big streamer. I don't think anyone's gonna report me because you stood up. Oh no, this is where I came from. Never mind. Why do I forget where I came from? I forgot who I was, where I came from, and how I did it. So I do want to come down here. But part of me is also curious, is there anything over here though? Nothing, huh? I don't know, game. I don't trust you very much, so I thought it was very likely that there's something there. Bro! You guys are so freaking evil, I swear. Wait a minute, is there like a black thing somewhere? How was I supposed to get that? I'm supposed to just know and like go for it? That's so sus. I don't trust y'all. Hold up. It makes more sense that there be 8 left. So let me just check up here, make sure there's nothing up here. Because, like, the odd number thing was kind of weird.
Get me out of this creepy place.
Okay, it looks like you're catching up with Crystal. Keep a lookout for him.
I think I'm getting good at this game because I'm finding most things pretty quickly now. This song's really whack, bro.
Raz, what's happening?
Things are getting a little weird.
Oh, now they're weird?
Uh-oh, that's a drop. Oh, never mind, it's
We're
not.
coming to the finale.
I'm going to try and find a way to meet you at the end. Look for me.
Roger that, Potato Masher.
Potato Masher?
It's a new mission code name I made for you.
I like it. Let's go mash Crystal.
Oh no. This is very sus. Okay. Yikes. Yikes! Okay, this is a very sus roller coaster, I gotta say, bro. Thank God that's over. Wait.
Weird.
Sus. I didn't think I could just push him like that.
I think I hear...
Figments! I thought those were Christmas trees! I was like, oh, freaking nice. Why are there Christmas trees in here?
What did you think?
Oh, frick, man.
I think you're a very confused person, and you don't know what you're messing with.
I'm going to restore a whole country to greatness. A country that your heroes, the Psychonauts, tore apart.
Yeah, that's great and all, but where's the brain?
Your dad was a brutal dictator and a ruthless strongman.
My father's only problem was that he wasn't strong enough. As Tsar, I won't have that problem. Trust me.
The people hated the Maliks.
If that were true, then why did they unanimously re-elect us every election?
I don't know. Because they had no choice?
Your father used Lucretia Mux to squash non-violent protests.
Maligula rained on a few parades, yes? But that's what cooled them down before they got too violent.
Bruh.
Tsar Theodore made a monster. He pushed a vulnerable young woman to do such horrible things in the name of her country that she snapped. He broke her.
He took a sad country girl and turned her into a mighty warrior. And I'm going to do it again.
Dang. You're, really messed up.
Where's Truman's brain?
Not my problem.
Grulovia was never great. It was always a fair to middling country at best.
Please. I was there. You weren't. It was amazing. I had a cotton candy maker in my bedroom.
Dude, how... That's so cringe.
I've had enough of this.
Yes, me too.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if I could,
Hey,
leave and grab figments and then come back. The question was answered, unfortunately, not the one I wanted.
To have Truman extricate Maligula from her captors back in the physical world.
Yo, what's up, Only Chan?
Please don't.
Only Chan.
State right now.
I always wanted a cotton maker. I won't lie. Cotton candy maker. A cotton candy maker. I love cotton candy.
You don't say. Please
I actually saw cotton candy at a store, so I might buy it. Just saying.
Hey, you jerk!
Yeah, that honestly, this game has made me psychologically attached to figments. That like when I see them in cutscenes, I'm just like, I need to get those. Well, that doesn't help things much at all. Cut me out, buddy! What's up here? Help me! Help me! Wow, you suck. Dude, what is she talking about? Where is up here, you butt sack? Can I change abilities and try something else?
I'll bet I'm ruining all your stuff. You'll never turn a profit on this merch.
That's hilarious because they actually, wait, what? They actually had something written for that. There's so much here. Where is up here, you weirdo? Oh, I didn't even hear her say that, my bad. But yeah, I'm shooting at it. What do I do? Oh, I'm stupid. They couldn't just show her. I didn't even hear her say I'm behind this dumb fan. My bad.
$25 for this piece of crap?
It's made with real.
Where is
Ouch!
my
Hey!
Ow! brain?
Please?
It's a plush toy, little prince.
It's made with real metal in the briefcase.
I'm sorry, but this guy just sounds like a douche. Like a spoiled douche. That's really what they sound like.
Come over here.
Help.
Yeah, he's actually embarrassing. Help. Okay, I have to clip that just because I would like to see that again. I'm sorry.
That one. This one.
Help. Psst. Don't you? Did he just leave that brain? What? The living ball sack.
Were you children just inside the mind of the grand head of the Psychonauts?
Yes, and I need to go back.
Darling, we saw you come out.
That's an incredible security violation.
Listen, that's the mole.
Kid, you're way behind. The mole is Nick from the mailroom. Sasha just figured it out. But I always had my suspicions.
Why, there he is, over there.
No, that's the Zazarovich of Grulovia. Or at least his body. His mind is in my dad's head. We don't have time for this. Let's go get my dad's brain. Out of my way.
Did she just say...
I think we should get out of here.
Dude, he was in there that long? Oh, dang. Oh, no.
Little Zazarovich, have you come to pay for your father's sins?
Yes, High Priestess. I am here to correct the mistakes made by my father. I am Gristal Malek, son of Tsar Theodore, rightful ruler of Grulovia and servant of Maligula.
Lucy, this isn't you. We can fight this together.
Ford, you're here too? This is awkward. Ah, there's too many people here. Too much baggage. Need to push it all away.
Welp. That seems to have went very well. But I'm still mad because they showed me all those figments, the baggage, and they just threw me out. I'm upset. She's too motivated. But you know, can we just like find that dude and like go back? Yep. He might be in the water somewhere though. I don't know. It might be a little bit difficult. Where are you going? Just kidding. Freaking hell. Alright, I actually put a lot of hours into this game because this is like a 2-part stream because I had to stop it. I don't even know how long I went before I stopped it. But I'm almost going 2 hours now. And my body's crashing, so I might need to just take the... Wait, what? Okay, game. Alright. Yeah, you're not going back, and this is how we're going to make sure of that.
Is Maligula doing that? Of course she's doing that.
I don't think the game's BS, but they basically force you to backtrack in a lot of ways, which is unfortunate for me. Because I like to just get everything I can beforehand, and they just literally cucked me and said, hell no, you ain't doing that, dick! Wait, hold on. I'm kind of curious. Can I use this to jump up? Never mind, it kills me. Okay. Never mind, bro. Okay, where am I supposed to go exactly? Oh, am I supposed to climb up? Oh. This is about to be 3 hours. What? Okay.
Prices are falling, but our quality never will.
Nona, that could have killed me.
Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Hey, at least they let you come in here, but what I'm really annoyed at is that I can't freaking get everything so I can get the stuff I want, you balls! Is there anything else in here that's worth it? I think I got everything that was, like, really worth. Locked? Oh, no. Wait, what? Oh, it's not locked. That's just the icon for it. My bad. So there's really nothing for me to get here because I already have everything. What I really want, I mean, I could buy that, but that's not going to do me any good.
Let's make a side challenge marker and get you ranked up.
I don't have enough, so.
Ta-ta.
See, this is unfortunate because I had the opportunity to like try to max everything in those places first, but I didn't know the game was going to do this.
My family is still at the camp.
Your father had a rough night. He's been remembering things.
I lost her, Rasputin.
Poor mom. Okay, so can't I go back to that in the brain if I go to the brain tumbler or whatever the hell they call that?
Oh no.
You know what we have to do.
Mio caro. No tears, my love. It's showtime. Time for the devil's fire hose. Quippy, on the bottom. Now, Rasputin, up top you go.
But what about all that water?
The curse isn't real, Dad. It's just something Ford put in our minds to keep us safe.
You sure about that?
Of course he's not sure. But what choice does he have? You ready, Raz?
No, so do it quick.
Yeah, I like his family. They're coming around.
Alley-oop! Say hi to Nona for me! Tell her to knock it off!
Wait a minute. Is this like straight up endgame or what? This feels endgame-ish to me. Okay, well, we're going into another brain, so basically this means that, I could stop here. But this seems very endgame-ish. And I really wanted to collect everything first! I mean, obviously, you probably can't get everything before the endgame, but... That doesn't look enjoyable, bro. Dang. Alright, so we just gotta save here, so I'm probably gonna stop here because it just looks like it's very endgame-ish.